I'm a gun guy. I prefer that term to gun nut, but I really like guns. If I go to a magazine rack with a couple hundred magazines to choose from, I'm pretty likely to pick up one about guns. I've liked guns since I was a kid. Here's my high school class ring. See Bell Tigers 1990 on one side, flip it over, the other side. Yeah, that's the NRA logo. Being into guns isn't uncommon when you grow up in the country in Missouri. When I was in high school, a group I was in, the FFA, had a raffle, and we raffled off a 12-gauge pump shotgun as a fundraiser. We had another fundraiser in which we hosted a gun show. It's a show where you buy and sell guns between dealers and individuals. We held that gun show at the high school gymnasium. I like a lot of things about guns. I appreciate the way they're made. I like their engineering. I like the craftsmanship. I like the beauty of the wood and the steel. I like old guns. I like new guns. I have a muzzleloader, a shotgun, handguns, rifles. I have a couple guns that you could consider assault weapons. I like hunting. I like shooting. I just really like all kinds of guns. If you ever want to buy me a present, as long as that present uses ammo, I'm going to like it. There's a problem I see going on right now with most of the discussion involving regulations pertaining to the ownership and use of weapons. It's that we call it gun control, and either you're for it or against it. A lot of the discussion on social media has been pretty ridiculous. People who aren't into guns get the terminology all wrong. They confuse assault rifles with machine guns. They don't understand the difference between an automatic that's fully automatic or semi-automatic. And they say things like they don't want to ban hunting guns, just guns that can hurt people. On the other end of things, people who are not into guns have read in their magazines, and by magazines I mean publications, not clips, that if any regulation of any firearm, ammunition, or accessory is put into place that's more restrictive than what we currently have today, that's simply the first step down a slippery slope that will quickly lead to a total ban and confiscation of all guns, even that old single shot that you inherited from Grandpa. The 1994 assault weapon ban had aspects to it that were rather silly, focusing on cosmetic features of guns. If someone's shooting at me, I don't care if the stock on this gun's made out of wood or plastic. But as a society, I think we can do better than this one side or the other argument that we're having right now about guns. If you're a gun lover like me, you probably favor some weapon regulations on some scale. Everyone's for a little bit of gun control. Sometimes I fly in a commercial jet plane, and when I'm flying on that plane, I'm actually pretty happy that the general public can't buy surface-to-air missiles and shoot down that plane easily. And although I could have a lot of fun tossing hand grenades around down at the farm, I understand that if you could buy hand grenades over the counter, drive-bys in the cities would be a whole lot worse, so I'm willing to see them regulated too. And even though I own some high-capacity magazines, I find them both convenient and a lot of fun to use. I believe gun people should be able to talk about limiting the capacity of magazines to a certain number, perhaps 10 rounds. Consider the shooting with Kip Kinkle. He went into his high school cafeteria with a 50-round clip, shot until it was empty. When he went to change clips, fellow student Jacob Riker, who had already been shot, took him down. Kip had a lot more magazines and even more guns, but in the brief moment that it took him to change clips, there's a window of opportunity for someone to act. That moment only came after he'd already fired 50 shots. In some other school shootings, like the one with Eric Hainstock, Robert Gladden, and T.J. Lane, the kids went in shooting and they shot till their guns were empty, and someone tackled them and took them down and disarmed them before they could reload. These incidents would have been on a lot different scale, but you probably didn't even hear about them because they didn't have 30-round clips. They had guns that held smaller amounts, one with a 10-round pistol, double-barrel shotgun, things that weren't able to shoot 50 times before you reload. Magazine capacity can make a difference, we all know it. Shootings like Newtown will still happen, but the total loss of life will be lower. It's something that any reasonable person should be able to consider. It's not a Democrat issue or a Republican issue. It's not even a liberal conservative. It's just about discussing about the regulations that we currently live with and deciding if there's any way we can make them better that might improve safety for our children and other people. It's something worth a discussion and not just digging in on one side or the other. Thank you.